Hey, welcome to day 2 of the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship finale. It's the Grand Prix of Sharjah. You know what? The weather, the racing, it's really heating up. Okay, it's not really heating up as far as the weather. It's actually pretty cool this morning. But we have seen some standout performances on the water. We're racing in a culturally steeped city that promises intrigue and the exotic. So whether it's the blue or gold souks to entice you in, or the panorama of the Akali Lagoon, or spending some downtime in the Heritage District, Sharjah hooks you in with her natural beauty and charms. But we sit here on the edge of our seats as each crucial race today inches our racers closer to the World Championship glory. We have Moto 1 and Moto 2 taking places across the classes, and we're just a couple of days away from finding out who will take the ultimate prize of the year and the title of World Champion. So let's keep cheering them on as this race action starts right here at the Aquabikes Grand Prix of Sharjah. This is a gorgeous overview that you're getting the opportunity to look at. And as we talk about this, I do think we should get an opportunity to look a little closer at Sharjah. This is the Emirates of Sharjah, the heart of Islamic culture. In this city that is brimming with life, there's a wide variety of historical, cultural, and artistic treasures to uncover. It's the third largest emirate in the UAE. Sharjah was dubbed the UNESCO's Arab Capital of Culture. No doubt this is because Sharjah is home to over 20 museums, the UAE's first libraries and schools, and various art galleries have immaculately preserved the wonder of the Arabian culture. While it's easy to get lost in the souks and the markets of Sharjah on foot, there are also plenty of opportunities for dune driving, exploring the unique Arabian coastline, and if you're up for an adventure, camel racing. So, whether you're here as a cultural wanderer or wanting to explore the hidden intricacies of the Arab world, or just a thrill seeker in search of adventure and intrigue, Sharjah has something to please everyone. Hey, you guys, welcome back. We're going to run the same schedule as we did yesterday, but let me give that to you again just so we can get you organized. First race of the day, the first moto of the day, is going to start off with the men's division. That's going to be men's ski GP1. Then we're going to be going to women's GP1. Our next one's going to be runabout GP1, that first moto. And then we're going to be going to our first round in freestyle as well. And with few exceptions, we had some great surprises brought to us yesterday. Let's do a bit of a recap on what happened in men's ski before we get rolling. Kevin Rederer, Stian Schvetlein, and Dan Anderson were the three amigos in that order of fastest times, both Q1 and Q2. The only change was the times, because in Q2, all three of them got faster. In Kevin's case, it was 4.5 seconds faster. In Q1, Salman Alawadi took a fourth, but it was the GP1 commander boat rider, Ulrich Bernson, who nailed it when it counted in Q2 with the fourth fastest time. And who came in fifth and made that coveted first series of pole positions? That would be Nacho Armias, in fact. He got our fifth place, twice as spicy and just as fast. Who took that final coveted first buoy lineup? The pole for the second lineup is another young gun from the UAE, Abdullah Alamadi. Well, that gives you kind of the rundown of what happened yesterday in men's ski GP. Let's see what kind of coolness they're going to bring this morning. Speaking of coolness, we've got cooler temperatures. We were firing off in the first series of motos yesterday with mid-80s. And today, as we got going, it was a lot chillier. I'll get you that update on the temperatures in just a minute. We'll be right back after this short break. Hey, welcome back. You know, before we get rolling with today's excitement, let's take a look at the gentleman that nailed it in both the qualifiers yesterday, Kevin Rederer.
Yeah, the qualifying was good. I just kept my pace, make sure I'm smooth, not too crazy on the ski, not pushing it too hard because it's really rough and tight out there, so you have to be really keeping it smooth. And yeah, I'm really happy about my last pole position of the year, and yeah, looking forward to the races.
You can hear the boats as they start to make their way down. As we always do, we are going to be having a Parade of Nations. Now, is the overview, we have 63 riders this weekend and 25 countries represented. And you can see right at the top of that Parade of Nations as they go to pick up the flags. It is Austria representing in the house with Kevin Redder aboard. I'll give you some of the other countries as they come through, but be looking for the UAE, Norway, Croatia, Spain, Italy, Hungary, Denmark, China, Estonia, and France. You're watching as we get ready to go with the Parade of Nations. This is going to be Moto 1. 15-minute plus 1 lap is what we're looking at for this first moto. And this is our first opportunity for these guys to get some points on the board. Speaking of points, only one away for Kevin Redder to lock this in. So talked about today's temperatures. Yesterday we were in the mid-80s. Right now we're at about 77, 25 degrees Celsius. The massive change from yesterday, we were looking at about 40% to 50% humidity. Today, it is 70% humidity, and we've got a big chance of showers this afternoon between 1 and 5 o'clock. You can also expect some strong winds this afternoon, which for jet ski junkies like you and I means good racing. Anytime we get the opportunity to get some more waves on the water, that's provides even more excitement for us. Right now, you can look out over the lagoon, and you can see it's fairly flat for them for this start. Not even much chop to have to mess with. This is their first opportunity to look at the start. We will be doing a running start from left to right or counterclockwise. Let's talk a little bit more about this course because it is technical. It's the same course that we had in 2017. Very tight, very technical. It's got 2 areas that have a high degree of difficulty. That is those 2 horseshoe turns. They are high-speed right-hand turns. You will see one of those right before these guys get to the front stretch, making that front stretch really a misnomer. It's more of a front dash. 30 buoys for the ski riders, and the 30 buoys are looking at about 1.5 kilometer. Blue buoys are going to be indicating the outside split. And the green buoys indicating the inside. And there's our lineup. Kevin Redder from Austria, Stian Schvedlein from Norway, Dan Anderson. That's exactly how they finished yesterday. Ulrich, Anders, Nacho, Axel, and Abdullah. Salman, Sultan, Barnabas, Martin, Slaven Ivancic, Mads and Wang Shui, and then Yu Xungbo, the 2 Chinese riders, at the 5 riders that joined us this weekend from China. Welcome. Andre Guidi and, of course, Marcus Lutzekert, the man of the golden shoes. That's how your lineup looks. Okay, that was their opportunity to take a look at the start. Very reminiscent of a lineup of thoroughbreds, isn't it, as we get them into the gates? Hey, good morning, Katie Mosier. Thank you so much for joining us on the live feed. Hi, Doman, Shalamir, and Katie as well. Mr. Colinder, Jeremy Poper, Ipu Prouse have also all signed on and chimed in. Mateus, Seth, good to have you guys here. Well, you're getting up early today. All right, they are starting to get them in this lineup. Didn't like it, so they're going to re-rack them. love about the course officials at the UIM-ABP World Championship Tour, the aquabike officials are very specific about these starts and these lineups, and I love how they force them to be very fair in the lineups. So they're gonna be pretty strict with them, and it looks solid from here. Let's see.
Fermali, devi farlo.
And they're gonna bring him back around. Looks like Anders Keller moved into that pole position after the timing. Nacho Armias ended up with a penalty yesterday, so they're going to re-rack them. And oh, that's the third. Now that's unusual. Generally, they get these guys in and out of there pretty quickly, but that is the third time. Anybody that's raced jet skis very often knows exactly what those guys just did. They wanted to blow out the engines a little bit. What happens after the first couple, if you don't get the opportunity to run that engine out, they're going to want to open that throttle up a little bit, clean that engine as much as possible before they go back into the gate. So that's why they push through a little bit further than normal. Again, re-rack.
Ok, vai Stefano, sto giro.
All right, so they're bringing them in pretty tight, and this looks good. Kevin Redder off to a solid start. Anderson holding his line as well. Stian Schvedline trying to drop into the inside. You could see him working. Anderson went slightly wide, so Stian Schvedline going to go to that outside split. Redder on the inside. It was a good move from the gentleman from Norway. Let's see if he's able to turn that into a hole shot from the outside. Kevin Redder came into that front stretch right off of the merge buoy, and he is going to have your hole shot. Stian in second. Ulrich Bernsen in third. Anderson in fourth. And Anders Keller in fifth. Axel Courtois in sixth. Nacho Armia in seventh. And Barnabas Szabo in eighth. Barnabas had a ton of trouble yesterday. Fuel pump. Exhaust actually was giving him some trouble, and I know that Szabo was watching him on the live feed, cheering him on, but it was having some problems in qualifying. Let's see if Barnabas is able to turn this into a little bit of a shift. Meanwhile, it is Kevin Redder who is on the lead. And that was boat number 97 that went down. That was a gentleman from China, Wang Xiaowei. And it was boat number 3, Abdullah Al-Amadi, that I was able to get around him. Wang Xiaowei on boat 97, part of 5 Chinese riders. That's the most Chinese riders that we've had. Very lucky to see these teams growing. Racing in China has grown tremendously over the past decade. They actually now run several large tours around that country, to include tours that are a part of the UIM-ABP Aquapike World Tour. As you know, our last stop was right in Qingdao. And we haven't had the release yet for the 2020 schedule. We do know that we will be in Kuwait in February as our first stop, but we could definitely see China back up on the list, and that was your opportunity to catch up with Kevin Redder. And let's get you a time, 1:43.60 for Kevin Redder on that first lap. Stian Schvedline, a 1:47.52. Ulrich Bernsen, a 1:47.80. And Dan Anderson with a 1:48, and you can see the times very quick this morning. 1:49.48 for Anders Keller. Axel Courtois in 6th with a 1:51.18. Nacho Armias in 7th with a 1:53.97, and Barnabas Zabo in 8th with a 1:55.53. No change from that starting lap to lap number 1, but I'm willing to bet that it will start to change as we get further into this 15-minute moto. We're 3:17 in right now. And Kevin Retterer, the gentleman from Austria, who has had a spectacular run this year and actually showed the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour what he was going to look like in his rookie years. He took that win, and his first world title is now on the gas to see if he can nail the next one. And as our media center mentioned in the press releases coming into this event, only 1 point away from locking this world title down. Meanwhile, the gentleman behind him, this is Stian Schvedlein and Ulrich Bernsen on boat number 83. Both of those are GP1 boats built by Commander, and they've got Go Fast Chris Girello. I'm sure if anybody's been in the business very long, Christopher Girello has been under the hood of a lot of very fast boats, to include Nicholas Rios back in the day. And he currently is helping out both of these riders. Ulrich Bernsen on the inside split. Stian Schvedlein on the outside. That's going to be a battle. And it looks like Bernsen just moved into second. Bernsen, your new second place rider. Stian, by the way, had Chris Girello fly all the way over from the States to rebuild that boat. Good thing he did. Had some rust on some of the inside of that boat, and they wanted to get that fixed. So Stian looked fantastic yesterday. And currently, looking very solid. Stian back around. It is Retterer, Stian, and Bernsen. So Bernsen looked like he had second, couldn't hold it. Anderson still 4th, Anders 5th, Axel Courtois in 6th, Nacho Armia in 7th. You can see the water starting to spin here and get a lot more churned up as they start dealing with the rider chop and that mirrored water coming back out from the wall. By the way, the tide is out. That too is going to have a bit of an impact. The tide fluctuates here a couple of feet daily in the lagoon. Anders Keller at the right of your screen as he comes in on the right-hand side. They are now in that split section, so that is that double red buoy that you saw at the top of the screen when we first caught these guys. And Anders is putting some pressure on Dan Anderson on that inside. Kevin Retterer with a 1:43.60. Current lap time was a 1:50.54. Excuse me, 1:50.64. And Anderson holding off Anders. That's the horseshoe turn I mentioned. Then you come to this double, and then you have to hit this tiny front stretch, and then you are back into more difficulty. Two quick single buoys. And they've got a triple red they've got to handle. And as we get the opportunity to watch Anders Keller, you're going to see him veer off. There's a, looks like a MasterCard buoy that they come up on, and he's going to veer off, and that'll be the separation between the runabout track and the ski track. And here's your opportunity to watch as these guys do that deviation. And this part of the track actually turns back in towards the other track. It goes in deep into the middle of the other track. And the reason that I point that out, just to watch the front of that boat and how that boat is really taking some pounding from the waves. That's because the waves now are starting to merge from the other parts of the track into that deviation for the ski riders, and it's a tight deviation. only opportunity for them to really open that throttle up is on that final part of the backstretch. Anderson back in to the outside split now. Kevin Rederer with a 1:43.60 fastest time. His current 1:50.64. In second, it's Stian Schvedline, his fastest with a 1:47.52. His current a 1:54.04. And Anderson fourth, still holding Keller. Axel, you can see Axel Courtois. Take a look at the separation between these two. Rederer starting to open up the gap. 8-second lead between Kevin Rederer and Stian Schvedline. But Schvedline and Bernsen, that is boat number 2 and boat number 83, right on top of each other. 6/100ths of a second separating the two. Dan Anderson also right in that. He's at 1:56.45. And Bernsen actually going a little faster on that lap of the 3. So Stian Schvedline had a 1:56.70. Ulrich Bernsen had a 1:56.13. So I want to keep an eye on the gentleman on boat number 83. He had run a faster time on that and is putting a lot of pressure. 1:56.45 is what Dan Anderson put on the block clock on that last lap. I have to say I'm a little surprised that when you take a look at the start, Rederer, Schvedline, and Bernsen, Anderson, Keller, no change on that top 5 from the first lap. Kevin Rederer on that Victory built boat. It's a Kawasaki with a whole lot of modifications to it. Chris Wilkinson back on board as his team manager and the program director for the Victory team. And they have put together a very solid program this year. And the results are self-evident. He had a triple aces at the Portobello stop, a 2-1-1 finish in Olbia, and a 1-1-1 finish in Qingdao. He came into this with 222 points in first place. Closest to him is Dan Anderson in second, who's had the best year he's ever had on tour, 148 points coming into this. Dan Anderson also with some great results. Axel Courtois is putting pressure on Mr. Anders. That is the tight little course we talked about. That's the deviation, and there is Anders Keller on 55. Axel Courtois, by the way, only gentleman out on the course at the moment with a 2-stroke, and you saw him just drop down slightly in that ski. It is so tight back there. And the turns are off camber, and they're right in the middle of the course. That's what you were watching, the detour that they take from the runabout track. Now we've got Axel Courtois on the inside split, Anders on the outside, and we'll find out if Axel Courtois is going to be able to get around him. This is going to be pretty close. Axel dives into that merge buoy, and he's got the line. Axel Courtois just nailed a pass. That was Armias that he was pushing with. You can see Anderson up on the right-hand side of that screen. Kevin Rederer with a 1:43.60. Stian Schvettlein 147.52. Those were their two fastest. Meanwhile, Redmer on this one did a 151.41. And Stian Schvettlein had a 157.52. And there is Stian Schvettlein. Go Fast, Jarello, Team Go Fast all here. Aaron and Chris both helping Stian out this weekend. And man, that boat has been on fire all weekend. You're about 13 minutes into this 15-minute moto. We got a rider down. It's boat number 4, actually, Slaven Ivancic, the gentleman from Croatia. Again, really got to hand it to our crew for putting in a very even setup here in the split section, and you can see that playing out. Berntsen and Anderson going at it in that splits, and Anderson got closer. Let's look at the times. Told you that Berntsen had a pretty fast time. 1:56.71. Anderson with a 1:56.39 on that last lap. So Anderson is starting to put pressure, but it was Stian Schvettlein who opened that up. He's at a 1:54.22 on that last lap. Kevin Redder with a 1:47.97. And Stian Schvettlein is 43 seconds off of Redderer's pace at the moment. That victory boat is screaming. With a gentleman that is quickly becoming a legend in our sport, Kevin Redderer from Austria. First time we got the opportunity to watch him, you'll remember, was in the United States, and he was aboard a brand new boat called the Hydraspace, riding as a junior along with Nico Russ. And look at him go. His rookie year here, took the world title. And as you look down on boat number 88, this is another historic moment for this gentleman, Dan Anderson from Norway in 2018, 9th. His best place finish was Sharjah in 6th, but listen to the numbers that he laid down in Portimao, the very first stop this year. He got a 2.32, nailed the podium. Not as good a run in Olbia, but then came right back in Shidao with a 2.47. He's currently in 2nd with 148 points. And Dan Anderson has been at the top of his game this year, and he is continuing to pressure Berntsen. And you can see by the best lap times, but here was the last lap as they come through, and Anders is now putting pressure on Anderson. So more of the game underfoot. White flag is up, 16 minutes in. And I thought it was going to be Anderson pushing Berntsen, but instead it was Anders sneaking up on him. You were watching Anders and Dan Anderson, and then at the bottom of that camera shot was Axel Courtois. Great first moto as we watch Kevin Redder come through on his final lap, working the outside split. Hey, Mateus and Seth and Nicole, it's good to see you guys. As we watch this final couple of turns, that's the triple, or the horseshoe as we affectionately call it. It's a off-angle right-hand turn right before they hit the front stretch. That is going to be the win for Kevin Redderer. And he nails 25 points. He only needed 1. Whoop, whoop. Let the best win, Peter Anderson says. I couldn't agree more. Alberto Carmelingo, great to have you on board. Nira Ivancic, great to have you. Pieter Clarout. Hi, it's good to see you. Frank Lilienfeld has also joined us. Laos Komeni. from Hungary, Go Hungary. Mark Clemens is here. Katie Moser, not early for me. She's still in Thailand. All right, as we come through, it's going to be Stian Schvedline as he finishes up his laps, or lap. And he also is on that triple. And you can see just how short that front stretch is. Great job for Stian Schvedline and the commander boat. And it was Bernsen that was right behind him. Dan Anderson and Anders Keller all came in as your top 5. And what a comeback story for the gentleman aboard boat number 36, Nacho Armias. Nacho is going to be in 6th place. Axel Courtois, you can see, in 7th. Salman Alawadi in 8th. Our Chinese rider was up there. Hold on, see if he's able to hold it. It's actually going to be Barnabas Szabo. That's right, we were finishing up our laps here. Barnabas Szabo got in. So Armias 6th, Axel Courtois 7th, Barnabas Szabo is 8th. Much needed for a gentleman that's right in the points. And Kevin Redder is ecstatic. As I told you coming into this, he only needed 1 point to lock this down. So all the pressure is off of this Victory Team rider as he brings it home. Hey, Martin Manny, how you doing, bud? Good to have you joining us. Casper Zern's also on the feed. Oh, you're hearing some feedback. I will see if I can get that fixed for you. By the way, Szabo is telling me that Barnabas' ski is now fine. It was fixed 30 minutes before Moto 1. That was cutting it close. Sounds like we're going to need to take a quick break, but we will be right back. And welcome back. You can see that we've got the ladies hanging out on the dock over there as we get them ready to stage for their parade lap on the Parade of Nations. This is also their opportunity to get a look at the start. Now, mind you, when we do qualifying, we don't let them run through that start section at all. So while they've seen it in the past, and they've also seen it as we were putting that out in the water, they're all going to want the opportunity to actually get the boats to work their way through that, just so they can get some mental timing. It also has the opportunity for them to prep, and also gives us a quick opportunity to get those boats out of the water. We only have one area that we're allowed to get these boats in and out, so it's always, as usual, a bit of a traffic jam as we move them through, but thanks to our great crew, we're very efficient down there at getting them in and out. As we get ready to go, let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday in the qualifying, because we had a couple of cool shockers. In women's ski yesterday in Q1, Jessica Chavon took a late run in that 15-minute qualifier, and she nailed her first fastest qualifying time as a 1:54.24. But unfortunately, wasn't able to repeat it in Q2. Still had a great one. Emma was imitating a zen-like monk in the meantime in Q1, just working her way through the laps. She was about mid in the pack, making sure she got in the top 10. She had a 1:57.98. But then she turned from monk to warrior mode and nailed the pole position for today's first moto. Meanwhile, Jonna Borgstrom once again proved her talent yesterday with a Q1 second fastest time and a Q2 fifth place finish. She's on the outside of the first pole, and that could be the magic spot for today's first moto. E. Prowse, well, she never fails to bring the Loki Thunder to the party. Go Viking Princess. She finished fourth in Q1 and hammered it for second with a 1:55.64 in Q2. A 15564. Did you get that? It's like her race number. Coincidence? I don't think so. Estelle Perret, can you say powerhouse? A pair of threes describes her perfectly for Q1 and Q2. She ended up with a 15597. She came to the party in third in the overall points with an 8-point down from Jana. And right now she is sitting pretty in third on the pole for this first moto. Well, that's a recap. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday and our lady that took the top of the podium in qualifying, Eminelli Ortendahl.
Qualifying went great. I felt awesome on the ski. The technical choices me and the team did worked out perfectly. So I'm really happy with the result and my number one qualifying spot. So this feels great for tomorrow's motos.
And welcome back. Great interview with Eminelli. Meanwhile, got a couple more people to say hi to. We've had a ton chime in. Sean Valsecchi, oh my gosh. Great to have you listening in. I wish you were here too. Gene Navarro, good morning. Nicole Riegler, good luck to the girls. I will make sure they hear that. Martin Manny. Yeah, I saw that too, Martin. Yeah, not as much passing, only one pass, and that was Nacho. Good catch. As tight as that course was. I see Jerry Wong has also joined us. Joan Seville. Mateus Reynes is here. Andre Lynn. Good morning, Glenn Chisholm, all the way out from NZ. Dale J, all the way from Australia. Danapun Ditti has joined us. One of our very fast Thai names I bet you recognize. Nadia Porro is here. Good morning. And good morning, Lake Havasu. Amy Matzdorf, go Team Fast. Severi Solanen has chimed in. Adnan Jr. Yassini also here. Bernard Shelrick. Kenny Wong. Philip Salabier is here. Thank you. Orjan Christofferson cheering on Steen and Ulrich. Richard Ignacio. Kirsten Hall Keller. Go Keller. Mike Furman is here as well. And Jason, thank you so much for the comments. Much, much appreciated. I see Laura Ulrich, Kevin Redder's better half, actually also was watching that incredible race just a minute ago. Jules Hopkins has also joined. The girls are getting ready. They also had the opportunity to do their lap, and you get the opportunity to watch them. And it looks like we are getting them in the gate and ready to go. You can see Virginia Morales. And, of course, that boat number 95, Krista Uzar. Yasmin Upraus lurking in that first grouping. Ortendahl and Yasmin are first, second. Estelle's going to be third. Here's your lineup, so you can take a look at the grid. It's Eminelli Ortendahl on the pole from Sweden. Yasmin Upraus representing for Estonia. Estelle Perret, France. Krista Uzar, Latvia. Jana Borgström, Sweden. Jessica Chavon, France. Virginia Morales, France. Sophie Borgström, Sweden. Joanna Grassa. Lisa Kassan Battaglia from Monaco. Kylie Elmers, New Zealand. And Janina Johansson from Sweden. Joanna, of course, from Portugal. All right. Looks like they didn't get them. Yeah, actually they did. They got them all out there for the parade lap. I was just looking to see. We've got everybody ready to go here. And I love the different camera shots so you can see from the perspective of the racer what they're going to be facing in the split section. Aw, Benedette was saying, go Swedish girls. Looks like Bart Manny's poking fun at Rafael Moran on the feed. Hello, Rafael. Good to have you here, bud. Great racing for you this year. Okay, the ladies had the opportunity to do this start, so they've worked their way through that start lap's going to look like. And you and I as well now have an idea of what that looks like, and we're going to go ahead and get these girls back in the gate, ready to go. I see Robert Sand is also signed on. Great to have you, sir. Are you back from your worldly travels? Peter Anderson is here. And yes, it is great to see Krista racing after the injury earlier. She actually was injured in training a couple of weeks prior to the tour starting, which was a horrible twist of fate for the defending world champion. First lady on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour from Latvia to take a world title. Not going to be able to hold on to it, but she certainly is proving her mettle. You can see a great start from the lady on boat number 95. Let's see if she can hold that momentum, and we've got to ride her down. And that's going to be Joana Graça, unfortunately, from Portugal. She was in that second grouping. Eminelli Ortendahl went to the inside split. Looked like Yasmin Epraus actually got to the merge buoys a little bit quicker on the top end off of that backstretch. Will Yasmin Epraus pull an upset here? She has got a lot of momentum coming off of that front stretch. That's a brand new hole shot from Yasmin Epraus on boat number 64, and it is Eminelli Ortendahl in second. Jana Borgstrom in third, and Jessica Siobhan in fourth. Holy hole shot upsets. Yasmin Epraus rocketed out of that one. Estelle Perret in fifth, Krista Uzar in sixth, Sophie Borgstrom in seventh, Kylie Elmers in eighth, Lisa Kassan Battaglia in ninth. But at the top of the pack here, I bet Eb Epraus on the live feed just went nuts. Well, let's talk a little bit about Yasmin Epraus and this stunning team from Estonia. She's had a fantastic year. She had a 3-2-4 finish at the very first stop in Portugal. She was on the gun to have a great run in the second stop in Olbia, which is this gorgeous location in Sardinia. She had a 2 in her first moto, but the second moto was a booger because she had a DNF, and then her third moto was a 6 after engine problems. She came right back, though, in Shindao with a 2-2-6 finish, landing a podium, giving her 156 points overall, and it puts her close, but not quite there. The lady that is blocking her from a podium finish is this rock star from France, Estelle Perret, with 170 points. Eminelli Ortendahl is going to work that inside split. And Emma is going to be pretty hard to knock off, if not impossible, from the top of this podium. She really only needed 3 points to lock this down. But what this could impact is second and third, because Yasmin Epraus, as I mentioned to you, had 156 points. She's 14 points from third place. So Estelle Perret is going to hit the gas. She's in fifth right now, and let's start looking at times. Yasmin with a 1:53.37. Well, hello there, Miss Full Throttle. Eminelli Ortendahl with a 1:353.84. Jana Borgstrom with a 1:54.31 in third. Jessica Siobhan with a 1:57.33 in fourth. Estelle Perret with a 1:57.74 in fifth. And Krista Uzar, very respectable, 1:58.83 for sixth. Sophie Borgstrom in seventh with a 2.02. Kylie Elmers in eighth with a 2:05.26. Lisa Kassan Battaglia with a ninth with a 2.0689. Ortendahl back into the split sections. Good time, 1:05.384. So less than half a second as far as the time goes, but Prowse has managed to open up a 2.55 second gap, almost a 3-second gap between her and Emanelli Ortendahl. And I don't know too many riders that can open up any gap on Emanelli, young lady from Sweden. She's had a good year this year all around. She went to that Penfield stop on the European, the UIM European Tour. She nailed that with a big win. Then she went back to Zagreb and got a third. She's had 15 aquabike podiums. That's just 2015 to 2018. It's not even including the 3 additional she got this year. She's a student and one of our carbon neutral riders. I'll tell you a little more about what it means to be a carbon neutral rider and how that's been affecting a huge project that we've been working on with H2O a little bit later. You're watching Women's GP. This is the first moto. We are 5 minutes and change, 5.27 on the clock for this 15-minute plus 1 lap. And you're watching the little Viking here as she works her way through this technical little split section. Now that is the alternate backstretch. And look how tight that is. They almost have to turn back in on that elbow turn. It's quite tricky. Then the final part of that backstretch is this little double, and here's the splits. Yasmin's been really preferring that outside. She takes it again. Emma to the inside, and it is going to be Yasmin Prowse on that outside. Looks like Jonna Borgstrom going to follow her through. Talked a little bit about it yesterday, but in case you didn't get a chance to catch that, ooh, look how close. Emma got, that doesn't look like 3 seconds to me. 1:57.89 for that current lap. And it was a 1:57.74. Emma is picking up the pace. And we are watching lap number 3. This is going to be lap 4. 6:49, 6:50 on the clock. And Jonna Borgstrom actually took a nasty fall on a course that is eerily the same. This course that you're watching on today was the same course design in 2017 when Jonna broke her arm in 3 different places. She came out of that with some nerve damage. What most of us didn't realize is that she couldn't move her hand for almost 2 months after that surgery and after she got back home. So it was a long road of rehabilitation for Jonna Borgstrom. But man, when she came back with a vengeance. This has been her best year ever for the young lady from Sweden. Her and her younger sister, Sophie Borgstrom, both have been having some great finishes. You just got a shot there of Krista Uzar, who also had a nasty injury this year. She broke her leg, broke her foot in training 2 weeks before that first stop, knocking her out of it. The first time we've gotten to see her back on the boat was in China. Actually, I was going to just pull up her finish for you. Krista Uzar had a 7.62 finish in China for her 3 motos. We will be doing 3 motos for all of the classes, including runabout, this weekend. So 2 motos will happen today. We're on the air now till noon our time. And then we will be back this afternoon, and I'll make sure that we post that. You can also go to aquabike.net. Woo, that was close. Yasmin Prowse had a chance to take a look over her shoulder, and she knows that Emanelli Ortendahl is there, but she is wanting these points. She gets 25 points if she nails this finish, and Estelle Perret will get 16 points, allowing Yasmin Prowse to close in on that third place position. But Emanelli Ortendahl putting pressure on the young lady from Estonia. Well, Jonna Borgstrom got some clean, relatively clean water. Hanging back in third. And we've had a ton of people jump on the live feed. Norm? Aw, thank you so much for saying that. Mateus Reynes. Go Eminelli Ortendahl, Molly Fern. Great to have you joining us. Crystal Bosch has also joined. And we've had several more that are shouting out for Krista, who's our big fan base for her. And look how close it is now with Eminelli Ortendahl and whoa, and Yasmin Upraus. Emma knocked on her door. That was the final two buoys before they go into the split section, and there's the drone footage so you can get a shot of these girls going in. Looks a bit deceptive on the timing because watch when they come to the merge buoy, you can see that the geography is made up here, and Emma's close. Not going to be close enough. Yasmin Epraus shuts the door for another lap as we come to the 10-minute mark here. It's 10:33 for the time. We've got 15 plus 1 lap total. And let's take a look at our current lap times. 1:57.97 for Yasmin Epraus and a 1:56.16 for Eminelli Ortendahl. Excuse me, 1:57.29 for Eminelli Ortendahl. 1:54.85, 1:57.29. So 2 seconds and change. A little over 3-second lead. Jonna Borgstrom with a 1:56.75. She started to pick up this pace. Jessica Chavon, fourth, 1:57.20. Let's see if she holds, continues to hold off Estelle Perret. That is Jonna Borgstrom you're watching on boat number 25. Best year on the tour has been this year. She's trained harder than ever. She's had to work. She's still fighting some of the nerve damage from 2 years ago. Very little, though, at this point, but sometimes she says her hands go a bit numb, or excuse me. And you can see her in this alternate course that they run for the ski division, and look how technical this course is. She has to really drop down. And you can see they're pushing that handle pole almost to the bottom too, just keeping that boat as steady as possible. And you can see why. Do you see that really bump area right as they hit that back stretch? Would say one of the more technical areas of that. And Yasmin just looks rock solid on this split section on the outside. She's taking it every lap. There's her merge, and Eminelli Ortendahl actually followed her through. So I'm suspecting that Emma thinks that possibly that outside split's a little faster. So she went out and took a check just to see if she could pick up some more time. As they come through off of that horseshoe and into this front stretch, let's grab some more times from Yasmin Epraus with a 1:57.74. Eminelli Ortendahl now at a 1:57.01. And Jonna Borgstrom at a 1:58.98. Jessica Chavon at a 1:59.03. Well, let's wait, but Borgstrom just came through. Chavon, yeah, 1:59.03. Estelle Perret with a 1:58.85. And look at Krista Uzar, sixth, and a 1:58.95. So less than 10 100ths of a second between Estelle Perret's lap and Krista Uzar's lap. So yeah, just answer the question. Eminelli Ortendahl managed to get through a little quicker on that outside split. You can see the times up on the left-hand side of the board. And just a bit of a recap. This is a 1.5 kilometer course. I had a couple people ask me on Messenger about that. It's what we're looking, and it's 30 buoys. Okay, that is the backstretch. Really the only opportunity for them to open. Now that's interesting. I thought Eminelli had a faster lap time. Maybe she didn't feel like she did, though. She went back to the inside. Meanwhile, Yasmin Epraus is getting her groove on this outside split. Yeah, that track does look fun. This is a one of the more technical tracks. The track at Sharjah was very opened up, and that is really close. Between Emanelli Ortendahl, she tapped the buoy, and despite the fact that Yasmin Epraus had the line, it is Emanelli Ortendahl that took over the lead, and Yasmin Epraus went down slightly in her tray. Oh. Desperately needed those 3 extra points. Here is the point differentiation, right? So if you won, you got 25 points. In second, you got 22. So Yasmin just lost 3 that she desperately needed. Now, Emanelli Ortendahl doesn't necessarily need those points, but you know how it goes. Once you're a winner, you're going to always take a run to go to the front, no matter what. Oh, that was crazy. Wow. Gotta hand it to Emanelli Ortendahl. That was insane. Despite the fact she tapped the buoy. Get it, Emma. That was Jean Navarro, Jeff Lakeford. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mateus Reynes, yes, Emanelli Ortendahl. Man, she is a machine, isn't she? Benedicte Drange got all excited on that, and I gotta admit, me too. That was astounding. Now listen, you and I both know if you've been on a boat and you've tapped a buoy like that, it is a shock to the entire system, and it's easy to make a mistake. She not only didn't get phased by it, but she nailed the pass. So Emanelli Ortendahl, as she comes through this triple right-hand turn. Let's see what she gets on the time. Now she's got some clean water to run with. It's 1:57.27 for her. And we've got a rider that's Janina Johansson, who's really new on the tour. And she's just really looking good. This is her first year ever to really get out there in a competition. Looking for good things with her. She's been training with these guys. All right, Yasmin Epraus came through, and a 2.0031 was Yasmin Epraus' time on that one. Here's your recap on the year for Emanelli Ortendahl, and even with me being math challenged, this is not hard to add up. In Portimao, she took that stop with a storm at the first of the year. She got triple aces, every moto with the win. Olbia, she did a repeat because, hey, it's good to have number ones. And then she came to Qingdao, China, and did that change? Nope. Aces, every single class. In this round, she came out with 225 points, and she's looking to add another ace in their hole in the sleeve. Right here, as we look at 17:36, white flag is up. We're ready to finish up this lap. Thank you so much, Norm. Nicole Riegler, she is the best. Couldn't agree more. Trudy Schvetline has joined. Thanks to have you. And historic moment here for Emanelli Ortendahl as she gets ready to nail yet another world title. 15 podiums. Just 2018, and let's just take a look. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 podiums now. She's about to make it. About to make it another win. She drops to this front stretch, and it's tiny. Emanelli Ortendahl. Fist pump in the air, well-deserved, and what a great run for the lady that's leading in the points, and that probably is enough to lock her into her world title as well. And you can see Yasmin Epraus giving her a kiss. That was a beautiful job for both of those young ladies. Yasmin Epraus in second, and Jonna Borgström on the charge, too, for one of her best seasons ever, and she comes across in third. And Emanelli Ortendahl, for some reason, is swimming. And man still swimming. Woman? Why? All right, it was 18 minutes and 34 seconds. As Emma gets back on her boat, we're going to give her a hard time for that later. Yeah, big love to Merle, Varula, and Jasmine. Barry Gibson, quote of the night. Oh boy, I'm afraid to ask. For some reason, it's swimming. Well, I mean, come on. Morgan Foray, great to have you join us. And man, your sister killed it. Let's take a look down at their top five. Ebenelli Ortdahl with the win. Yasmini Proust second. Jonna Borgstrom in third. And Yasmin over there giving Ebenella Ortdahl a hug. Jessica Shaban is fourth. Estelle Perret is going to be in fifth. Krista Uzar in sixth. Sophie Borgstrom in seventh. And now Estelle Perret is going to get in on the hug fest. And they're all swimming. Girls' night out right there. Shows you the class of talent these guys have. Estelle Perret, who is part of a family legacy. And all the rest of our crew. Listen, we'll be right back after a short break. Hey everyone, welcome back. You know, before we get going with the runabout, let's check in with the gentleman that nailed it in Q2 yesterday, Jeremy Perez.
I feel good. I'm happy because I won Q1 and Q2. I feel really good on the jet ski. This condition I like a lot. The circuit is very tight, many waves, so it's really nice, and I'm very happy. And it's good for tomorrow for the 3 moto, but we'll see. We'll be long tomorrow with the moto.
And welcome back. As we take a look out over the Khalid Lagoon, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. Well, Runabout just ran amok. Jorgensen with a taped ankle stole into the Q1 fastest time. That was a 1:50.14. But it was Q2 where Perez got down to business. He landed the pole with a time of 1:41.83. That would prove to be the fastest time of the day on the 1.7-kilometer track for Runabout. But the good times just kept on rolling with Jorgensen, who got second with a 1:43.20. And Mr. Shoulder, what shoulder? I'm fine. Abdul Razak got a 1:44.21. And why do I ever doubt Matteo Fracasso? A fifth in Q1 and a fourth in Q2. Impressive and consistent. Also impressive, Alejandro Molina with a 1.47.14. He shaved off 11 seconds from his Q1 time to steal sixth place in the lineup for today. Meanwhile, the man of the hour was going the wrong way in his times, but we can blame the steering, not the GPS for that. That was Andres Wisniewski, will start in ninth, but the biggest surprise, that was a lack of forward momentum from Rashid Altair. We doesn't equate any problems for these guys. Yosef Abdul Razak in third, Matteo Fracasso fourth, Alejandro Molina in fifth from Spain, Sam Johansson, Rasmus Hansen, and Johan Johansson, that top grids. And Tim Pankratov right there, Andres Wisniewski, the gentleman that came in with a points lead. In 10th, Lino Arujo with a great run yesterday for Portugal, Alexander Kopitov, Lorenzo Benalia Christoph Agostino, who's list again. Frederick Brandau here representing for Germany. Jan Jensen from Italy. Shenzhen, part of our Chinese contingent. There's 3 riders here from Japan in the runabout. Abubakar Almari joins us this weekend. Great to have him. Yu Deze from China. Ling Wanfu from China. Anthony Radatic from the USA. Andrea Dominguez joining us on her rookie year. Martin Alhaj and Conrad Robel. But wait, there's more. Rashid El Tayer, 25th, and Salman Alawadi from the UAE. That's going to round out your field. Let's see what these guys can unfold for us in Moto number 1. It's going to be a 25-minute. Plus a lap. Because we're cool like that. And also evil. Evil to engines, anyway. And a whole lot more people have jumped on the fade. Rafael Moran, welcome. It's Sharjah Park, Manny. Hey, guys. You're evil. Dean Cruzco's. Hello, Taylor Porter. Hello, Dean. Hey, Quentin Bosch. Nils Vellums has joined. Jeff saying hi to Bogdan. By the way, I just saw Janusz, who is actually flown out here to support the Black Shadows team. We got some fellow Russians shouting out for their riders. Speaking of, Alexander Kabitov, Taylor Porter getting Australia into this next year. Deal. I'm going to hold you to that. And then, of course, all the guys saying go Russian Rockets as well. Go Russian Rockets. Got some great teams out here this weekend. There's a shot of Christoph Agostino. We chatted about it a little yesterday. Let's talk quick on points, just so you're up to date. Andrzej Wisniewski from Poland came into this round with 104 points. So he's your point leader. Keep your eyes on the gentleman riding for Team Black Shadows. He lives in Oleko, Poland. He is a multiple Poland champion. And this is his first opportunity to nail a world title in this runabout GP1 class for the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. Now, he's got a lot of company. Yosef Abdul-Razak is in second with 97 points. Rashid El Tayer is also in second with the same number, 97 points. Marcus Jorgensen in fourth with 93 points, but wait, he's also got a tie, and Sam Johansson tied for that fourth place with 93 points as well. Jeremy Perez, your defending world champion, he's still right in this. He's got 87 points going into this round. And Anton Pankratov has 86 points going into this round. So it's a 7-rider opportunity here for a world title this weekend. Let's talk about the injured and injured reserve list. Jeremy Perez, that I know of, no injuries, and looking very strong. Now, the only reason he's not at the top of that, he was looking very good in Qingdao, but had a crankshaft go out on him. And Andrzej Wisniewski just rode like a demon and came out with a great score out of China. And Nathan Adlam saying, go Radman. That's Anthony Radetic that he's talking about. There's Marcus Jorgensen. Marcus also on the injured reserve list. He had a foot injury a couple of weeks ago on a scooter accident. And he's been taping that ankle. Didn't seem to affect him yesterday. As we come into this, it's Perez that had the fastest time, but Marcus Jorgensen right there in second, and Abdul Razak with, well, he's just been on all kinds of fun with that shoulder. He did a shoulder surgery earlier this year in between the Italy and China rounds, and actually did 2 surgeries. One of them was the shoulder, and then came right back, was looking very good, and then in the race a couple of weeks ago, he actually dislocated pretty hard. Samuel Garcia is saying, go, go, Molina. Man, didn't he look great yesterday? Talking about Alejandro Alejandro did really, really good. Let's take a look at him. Finishes 5th, as I mentioned earlier. His time was a 1:47.14. That's going to put him on the first pole, and they're already getting him lined up and ready to go. And you can see Jorgensen coming into the group. I'm going to say no on that start. Nice try, though. Ready, set, wait. Where is everybody? We all know that feeling. I see Mike Klippenstein just joined. Great to have you, sir. The Clipper. I want to know how you got the nickname the Hyena. I saw that on my sheets a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm curious. I know why you got the Clipper, but I'm not sure where the Hyena came from. Hugo Wahlquist has joined us. Great to have you here. Cheering on Sweden. And Marta Sorrentino Perez, go Jeremy, to her husband. She's about to have a baby jet ski racer. I'm just going to help you out there, Marta. I see Anita has signed on saying go Poland. And they're putting them in the line again. This looks like it might be good. And they're off. Green flag. Perez. Fracasso. Ooh. Jorgensen all on the outside. It's going to be Josef Abdul-Razak all alone on this inside split. Let's take a look and see. Man, Perez on his game. This man is ready to go to business here. And I do believe he just punched the clock for a whole shot. It's going to be Jeremy Perez. Josef Abdul-Razak right in second, and it is massive battle in here for third. Mateo Fracasso in third, Andreas Wisniewski in fourth, Marcus Jorgensen in fifth, Samuel Johansson in sixth. Rasmus Hansen in seventh. So Jeremy Perez, Josef Abdul-Razak, your top two through that, and as they come back around, now you'll see that demarcation buoy. That's that MasterCard buoy. Now they go out and you're going to get the opportunity to see this massive runabout track. So they actually go back past the starting line and pick up another 0.2 here for their overall. We're looking at a 1.7 kilometers for this track. It's a big track for the runabout guys. Jeremy Perez, wow, double wow. Man on a mission. Yesterday he came out of this rocking with that 1:41.83 time. It was 1.5 seconds faster than Marcus Jorgensen. And you can see Andres Wisniewski and Jorgensen going at it. Wisniewski, your current points leader with 104 points. And let's watch these guys as they dive into the split section. It's going to be Jorgensen to the outside, and now Andres Wisniewski on the inside. You've got to have reliability be in your conversation this weekend. These guys are going to have 3 massive motos. We're at 2:43 of a 25-minute plus a lap moto. There's Josef Abdul-Razak. And for Fracasso, let's get some times. 1:49.46 for Jeremy Perez. Josef Abdul-Razak in second, 1:52.08. Fracasso with a 1:52.99. Jorgensen with a 1:54.07. And Wisniewski with a 2.0020. And there's Wisniewski. And Jorgensen got around him. So Jorgensen used that outside split to sneak around Andres Wisniewski. And that's an unusual time at 2.00. That's interesting. I'm kind of curious if Wisniewski's got something going on with that boat. Yesterday they were having problems with it. And Yosef Abdul-Razak already taking a look over his shoulder. No pun intended there, but the reality is Yosef's going to have to try to protect that. That 25 minutes is going to be a tough game for the gentleman from Kuwait, who's no stranger to these wins, 4 world titles in the GP runabout, and actually was going for 5 when Jeremy Perez snuck it away from him last year. And that's the gentleman that's currently in the lead. Jerry Wong saying go Drago 7. That would be Marcus Jorgensen. And Bogdan saying go Marcus. Adam is cheering on the live feed for Poland, and Darren Quinn saying go Perez. So you can see it's even split on the live feed. We've got a ton of different riders that have a shot at this world title. And there's Mateo Fracasso, and he's still holding Jorgensen off. As we go through, Jeremy Perez 152. Fracasso got around Yosef Abdul-Razak and Jorgensen. Bet you money he did it right on that outside split. So it's Jeremy Perez and Mateo Fracasso. And Fracasso had a 156.84. Jorgensen had a 153.82. Sam Johansson with a 2.0085. And Wisniewski with a 207.14. Holy upset. Yosef Abdul-Razak has dropped back into 7. And you guys that have been racing these skis a long time, and particularly in the runabout class, you know how tough that is, especially on a big injury like that shoulder, for him to hang on. Boat number 14 having to go under to the tow hook. That is the other gentleman from Poland, Konrad Robel, and he had troubles yesterday too, so looks like he's gonna have to go in for the quick tow. Hopefully be able to get that fixed. They got some time, 6 minutes on the clock. We got 25 total, and Fracasso clearly was watching the ladies class earlier and thought, I'll just get out here on that outside split and see what happens. Made it work for him. He's got a 13-second deficit between him and the leader, Jeremy Perez. And there's Jorgensen, who needs those points. Now, Fracasso, let's take a look and see where he's at. Not in the top 7. He's in 9th place right now with 64 points. So it's not unreasonable to say that he can do it too. You just don't know. So Fracasso 2nd, Jorgensen 3rd, Johansson 4th, Wisniewski 5th, moving up. And Molino 6th, Abdul-Razak holding 7th. Good to have the Mods in the house. Dustin Monser signing in from the U.S. as we get the opportunity to watch Jorgensen hammering in on the rider from Italy. That is Mateo Fracasso ahead of him. And Jorgensen in need of some points. He's got 93, the leader, Andres Wisniewski, who is back in 5th, has got 104 points, and Jorgensen has 93. And I do want to say, coming into this round, we had just been doing 2 motos. So this one, we are going to have 3. We've got 2 today that we're going to get the chance to watch. So don't forget to tune in this afternoon. We'll get you the times. And then we've got another one on Friday. So we're going to take off tomorrow because we've got the F1s that are going to hit the water tomorrow. And you guys are more than welcome to come and join that action as well. It'll be live streamed. And then we'll be back on Friday for the final event between all of these riders. This is going to be one we do not want to miss. Jorgensen got around. He got around Fracasso, and he did it right in that split. He was just pushing the time, and he has the momentum. Fracasso had the line until they came to this triple, and it is going to be Marcus Jorgensen taking over that position. Smooth move for that 2nd place spot for Marcus Jorgensen on boat number 7, and coming off of that win just a couple of weeks ago in Thailand, and he is wanting more. This is his opportunity to take a first ever world title for the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour, and Jorgensen wants it. Nice move. Now he's got a little work ahead of him. 18 seconds is the, almost 19 seconds is the deficit between him and the defending world champion, Jeremy Perez, who currently has the lead. There's the long shot of your split section on the left-hand side of the track, and also a great view of Sharjah. Jeremy Perez still hammered down. Wow. And you just saw the big cans that he went through. And that was the start section on the right-hand side of the track. Look at the massive backstretch that Jeremy Perez and the rest of these talented riders have got to negotiate for each one of these laps. And while it's exciting for us, it's a bit of a tense moments for those guys, because that's usually where you see the blow-ups. Danish Dynamite. Couldn't agree more, Jeff. Rudy Wilson, great to have you cheering on Lino. Let's take a look and see where Arahu Lino has turned out on this one. He's in 9th place right now. That's the rider from Portugal. He's got a 2:06.38 on his current time. He's in the top 10. Christoph Agostino is in 10th. In 8th place, Johan Johansson. Rashid Altair moved out up into that 7th place spot. You want to keep your eye on boat number 5, and it's Molina in 6th place. Andres Wisniewski in 5th. Sam Johansson in 4th. Vercasso in 3rd. Jorgensen in 2nd. And Jeremy Perez leading. And there's Rashid Altair. We definitely want to keep a watch on. What? He keeps looking at his boat, and all of a sudden it's going slower. No, 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 no. Well, I talked about that backstretch, and speaking of detonation, looks like Pankratov also got caught with some of it. Boat number 76 getting the tow. And a tough break for a Russian gentleman. Oh, excuse me, not Russian. That Pankratov on 76 was the rider getting the ride. He's from Estonia. And Pankratov, by the way, talked earlier, was in this points battle. Anton in 7th, but he had 86 points. Meanwhile, Jeremy Perez with the 1:49.46 is the fastest time. He's currently got a 1:56.16. And Jorgensen 17 seconds off. And Perez is now lapped up to 8th place. And we are 11 minutes into this. Perez, Jorgensen, Vercasso, and Johansson. Wisniewski 5th. Molina holding solid in 6th. And unfortunately, Rashid Altair going backwards. He was all the way up into 7th, and he's back in 12th. Boat was going south on him. So what was going to be possibly a spectacular comeback in that first moto has turned into a disaster for the gentleman that was tied for that 2nd place. That opens the door for both Josef Abdul Razak and for Marcus Jorgensen. And there's Sam Johansson. Boat number 4, Sam with 93 points in 4th place. Yeah, Florian Les on the live feed, cheering on Jeremy. And Peter Stordahl cheering on Samuel and Johan. Gaetano Gustalia is on, and Adrian Scuba also cheering on Wisniewski. We've got a massive battle unfolding here on this track with 12 minutes, 56 seconds on the clock. Perez with that fastest time of 1:49.46, still pushing hard. He's at a 1:56.33 on his current lap. And it is Jorgensen with a 1:57.17, but Jorgensen's got to pick up the pace if he wants the opportunity to get around Perez. Even if he doesn't, he's got a good position here with the 2nd place. That's going to move him up in the points. Mateo Vercasso, who's a bit of a spoiler, he's coming in with 9th place, but is currently stealing points. He's in 3rd. And Sam Johansson in 4th, and Wisniewski, your current point leader, is in 5th. And there's Marcus Jorgensen. Prior to China, Jorgensen had, for the first time ever, had the lead in points going into that China round. And he's a man on a mission. Remember, Perez, coming into this, is only got 87 points. It's Jorgensen ahead of Perez on the points with 93 coming into this round. So this is going to be very interesting as we see what happens here. And by the way, the points work like this. If you take the win, it's 25 points. And if you take second place, it's actually 22 points. It's only 3 points separate between first and second place. So it's a good spot. Whoa, we got one of the lap riders who had to force Marcus Jorgensen to take a checkup. He just didn't realize that he was there. Jorgensen gets around clean. Fracasso holding off the young gun from Sweden, Sam Johansson. Let's take a look and see where Yosef Abdul-Razak started out in second and unfortunately has moved backward into 16th, which is tough. But again, remember, this is a gentleman that is racing with a pretty nasty injury. He was in the hospital 2 weeks ago with that dislocated shoulder, and on the x-ray, it was dislocated with vengeance. So boat number 11, the gentleman that's a 4-time world champion in this class, currently in 16th, as his hopes for that podium may be starting to slip away. We'll see if he's able to hold on to that spot. He had 97 points coming into this round. And both him and Rashid Al-Tayer are not in the top 10. Those were the two riders tied for second. And you can see Perez continuing the laps. He's lapped all the way up to 8th. And that's that triple horseshoe right-hand turn that Perez just navigated. Look at this little tiny front stretch. He just barely hit the throttle. I'd say he got to about 3/4 maybe. Just back it off. Take an elbow turn, which was also a very technical turn. And then they do a right horseshoe, or excuse me, a left-hand horseshoe. 3 red buoys on that right-hand side of the track, and then they scoot out far to the right. You can see both of these riders, Perez and Jorgensen. And that far turn is a double on the bottom end, and then they have this massive sweeper turn. And then they just lock and load for a massive backstretch, 1.7 kilometers, 31 buoys, 32 buoys actually for the runabout class. Jorgensen, you can see now on the MasterCard. And that's where the differentiation happens between the stand-up riders and the runabout riders. Fun to see these different courses. Lorenzo Benalia, yeah, let me check in on him as well. I think so. I think Benalia is starting to make a move. He's actually up into that 9th place position. Christoph Agostino is in 8th, and Johan Johansson in 7th. Alejandro Molina in 6th, Wisniewski in 5th, Fracasso 4th. Sam Johansson got around Fracasso. He is in 3rd. Marcus Jorgensen in 2nd, Perez leading. So Benalia on a boat number 44 is in 9th. And Anton Kabatov, the gentleman from Russia, is rounding out your top 10. Jan Jensen's 11th. Oh, and Fracasso now down. So a tough break for the gentleman all the way up into 2nd. He's out. Detonation Nation. Yeah, Samuel's killing it right now. Sam Johansson is in 3rd. And it's actually showed on here that Fracasso is still on the board, but he is not. He is under a tow rope at the moment. Meanwhile, Jeremy Perez, a gentleman from France, leading your race with a 26-second lead. Defending champion Manny had a tough one here. Last year he had 4 wins, all podiums. His best was a back-to-back finish at Olbia. And his Sharjah, when he came into the final round last year, was a 5-point difference. And unfortunately, 31 also looking for a tow, and that is Alejandro Molina, who just went down. So we continue with the boat breakage as we get it at 19 minutes, 31 seconds on this one. Molina on boat number 31 now off as well. So Johan Johansson's moved up into 6th. Christoph Agostino into 7th, and Benalia in 8th. -19 minutes, 51 seconds on the board with Jeremy Perez. And just to give you guys the way the points, if you want to start doing some math, Jeremy will get 25 points for this. Jorgensen will get 22. Third gets 20 points. Fourth will get 18 points. Fifth will get 16 points. Sixth will get 15, and so on. Diogo Barbosa, great to have you joining us. Benedicte, great to have you back. And Pia Theagard saying go Hansen. Boat number 78 right now. Let's take a look and see. Hansen's in 24th. All right, Perez, Jorgensen, Johansson, Wisniewski, and Johan Johansson in 5th. Lorenzo Benalia in 6th. Christoph Agostino in 7th. Anton Kabitov in 8th. Jan Jensen in 9th. And our Chinese rider, Dezi, Huang Dezi, is in our top 10. There is Jorgensen. Let's look at the time, 1:59.15 that last lap. Still looking at the best lap of a 1:49.46 from Jeremy Perez. And you can see Jorgensen on that far right-hand side. Sam Johansson about 25 seconds away from Jorgensen, so he's got a lot of time he'd have to make up. We've got about 4 minutes change here. Yeah, Johan is doing very good. Good to have Graham Leach here as well. So we've got both Johanssons in the top 5. Wisniewski, as he comes through on that front stretch. Let's take a quick look at his time. It's a 2:10.27, no, 2:05. 2:05 for Andres Wisniewski, a 2:05.84 for Sam Johansson, and Wisniewski and Johansson fairly close here on their lap times. And Wisniewski with the shade faster. Gentleman riding for team Black Shadows, and did you just see that? He looked up and Jeremy Perez came through lapping and he was like, say what? So now lapped up into 5th for Jeremy Perez. 22:36. That had to be the look of the day. Oh, Wisniewski cracks me up. He is such a great rider. Benedicte saying go Sam Johansson. I agree. What a fun rider to watch. Sam Johansson really burst onto the scene last year on the UIM-ABP Aquabike Tour. And he very, very much impressed us with his first go. And he actually had come out in the GP2 class and then moved up into GP1 for his first full year in 2019 on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. And what a rookie year he has had. He has got an opportunity here to hit a podium. He came into this with 93 points, tied for 4th. Meanwhile, as we get closer to our white flag, we are watching Marcus Jorgensen in his quest for his first GP1 runabout world title here on this tour. only 6, well, no, it's a bit more than that. $11 points are what separate Jorgensen from Wisniewski. So if he holds on to that, he'll get 22 points for this one, and Wisniewski will get 18, which will reduce that to a only 7-point deficit. Now, wouldn't that be an interesting coincidence? If it stays like this for the next couple of laps, the number on the back of his boat will be the same amount of points that he is lacking to jump to the top of this podium. Marcus Jorgensen's the gentleman we're talking about. Meanwhile, Andres Wisniewski is the one we're watching from the Black Shadows team, and that's your current points leader. He had 104 points going into this. He's going to get 18 points if he holds on to that spot. And I can only imagine all of the Poland team is shouting pretty loud back there in the pits for him, because this guy has been a machine over the past couple of years, but it has been engine problems, really, mostly. Very talented racer, but has just been plagued by crazy stuff happening on the track. We're at 25 minutes. White flag is going to be coming up next for Jeremy Perez, your defending world champion, on his quest to nail this first of 3 motos in the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour, the Grand Prix of Sharjah. This is our finale of a great tour this year, and we've got a big setup of tours lined up for you next year. Our first one's going to be Kuwait in February. He's in the outside split. And as he comes into the merge, I can only imagine what's going through his head. Lapped all the way up into 5th place. And this has got to be a great feeling for him. Horseshoe turn, and just got a little jump here. And that is a wrap for, one more lap. That is a wrap for the 25 minutes. He's got one more to go. Just got to stay consistent. Jeremy Perez. 1.7 kilometers left. I got y'all all excited on that, didn't you? Marta Perez said this race is too long. Hold on, girl. Don't lose it yet. Ipu Prowse has joined, and Victory Gregory, great to have you. Vicky, we should have Lucy here. I'm just going to throw that out. You should have Lucy come do this tour. Jeremy Perez, this last lap was a 2.0019. And Marcus Jorgensen was 26 seconds behind, but his lap time on that was 1:58.68. So he's had the fastest lap time out of our top 10. Comes from Marcus Jorgensen, and Sam Johansson with a 2.0901 in 3rd, and Andres Wisniewski in 4th with a 2:0269. Johan Johansson with a 2:0697. I believe this is the first time we're going to see 2 Johanssons in a top 5 situation as well, if they hold on to the spot. Lorenzo Benalia, the gentleman that has had the longest career racing with us, is right in that top 5. He's moved all the way up into, he's in top 5. He's right out of top 5. He's in 6th place. And Perez back in the outside split. This is going to be his final lap. All right, he's come to the horseshoe turn, and man, what a story. Teddy Pons been helping him, and Easy Rider is the machine underneath, and congratulations to Jeremy Perez taking the Moto 1 win and putting him that much closer to defending his world title. And then as Jorgensen coming through that horseshoe, and he too is going to drop to the front stretch. He takes a look over for the checkered flag, and he gets it. Boat number 7, our 2nd place, Marcus Jorgensen. And just looking a little bit further back here as we watch for Sam Johansson. And Sam's coming into this triple horseshoe as well. And you can see the excitement from Perez and Jorgensen. And Sam comes in third. Whew. Vineski. Lapped all the way up to fourth. Oh my goodness, Quentin Bosch just did the throwdown on the challenge on the live feed. Wow, that is a huge offer. QB, you were such a rock star. He just offered Lucy Gadsby the opportunity to come race in Olbia, and she can race his Commander GP1 for free. So Lucy, there it is. Go Marcus from Homelius. Again, congratulations to Jeremy Perez and a Team Easy Rider. France at the top of the ramp here for Moto number 1, and what a great race. Marcus Jorgensen, powerhouse, fantastic job in second, and that's going to be enough for 22 points. So he did steal some points from the rider from Poland. I will get you the update that and where everybody is on their points this afternoon. We're gonna pull all these guys back. Jet ski racing team, go Jeremy Perez, Marta Sorrentino, bravo Jeremy. Frankie Shimo, also yes, Jeremy Perez. Really shout out to all the riders. Okay, once again, Jeremy Perez on the top of that, Marcus Jorgensen second, Sam Johansson third, Andres Wisniewski fourth, Johan Johansson in fifth. So we're just kicking one historic moment after another. Both Johanssons in that top 5. Benalia in 6th, Jensen in 7th as he moved up to 8th for our Chinese rider. Chen Chan in 9th. And Christoph Agostino rounds out our top 10. So we had 2 Chinese riders of our 5 riders that came and joined us this weekend. 2 of them are in the top 10 in the runabout class. Great job for Team China as well. Tell you what, we will come back with even more action right after this. And welcome back. And you can see we are staging the runabout boats, getting those guys out of the water, and getting ready for some freestyle. We had an upset even in freestyle. We had upsets going on everywhere yesterday in qualifying. Let's talk a little bit about what happened in the freestyle division. One of the biggest surprises came from Sergei Chemezov. Not the incredible run that he had, because it was incredible. Not even that the crowds loved him, and they did. It wasn't even the fact that Russian TV was out here doing a live stream of him. Nope. Who wouldn't want to film such a talented athlete? The surprise came when Rashid Al-Mullah, who had been flawless all year, came out, did one combo, and then proceeded to get towed all the way back into shore. That was one of the biggest surprises yesterday in freestyle. We had a great run from Miroslav Turner. We also had a fantastic run and a lot of crowd appeal from Roberto Mariani. But what we did not have was Rashid Al-Mullah at the top of what had prior to yesterday been a picture-perfect year for Rashid Al-Mullah. I'll tell you what, while we've got a moment, let's catch up with the gentleman that is going to end up with that pole position, if you will, for freestyle.
Yeah, I think everyone here wants a victory, but I know my power and I know what I can do. So I'll try my best, put my 100% in the ski and my routine, and I'll try to get something.
Great to hear from him, and what a great way to fire off your final round here at the Grand Prix of Sharjah. Let's talk a little bit about the logistics that they're going to have to deal with in the freestyle division. 3 minutes each. We have a maximum of 10 riders. These points are going to be awarded from 5 separate judges, and they've got the judges set up in an interesting position, which you'll get to watch that. They're in between the VIP area and also the open area so that the crowds from both sides are able to really watch them. But it's different than the normal setup, so the riders have had to make that adjustment. Now, the maximum amount of points that they're able to get is 100. And let me break down the different areas that they're going to be judging on. There's 35 points awarded for the variety of tricks, 30 for quantity, 30 for style, and then up to 5 for tricks without the use of hands and feet. The points are amassed that it's going to equate to the rider's position in the allocation of the World Championship points overall. And let's take a look and see where they were coming into this round. It really was all about the gentleman from the UAE, and he was setting up for a historic year. This would be the first time ever that a gentleman from the UAE took a world title. And Rashid Al Mullah had a pair of aces in Portimao, a pair of aces in Olbia, and a pair of aces in Qingdao. It was a perfect total, 150 points coming into this round. Right behind him was Italy. That's Roberto Mariani, a.k.a. the Wolf. And Roberto Mariani had 132 points coming into this. Yaroslav Turner coming into this had third with 110 points. And in fourth was Sergei Chemezov with 107 points. In fifth was Paulo Nunes. And in those 85 points for Paulo Nunes for the 5th place. And Nils Vellum was in 6th with 71 points. Boat number 88, Alexander Karimshin, was 7th with 63 points. And Vladislav Vorobev was in 8th place with 51 points. But as we come to this weekend, it is a little bit fewer population of Russians here. So we're looking at Sergei Chemezov, who, by the way, took that win yesterday. And as we get ready to go with the freestyle, you get the opportunity to catch up with Axel Courtois. He's hanging out down there, chilling. Tell you what, guys, we'll be right back after this short break. And we're looking out over the Khalid Bay as we get ready to go for freestyle now. We are going to work to get you the freestyle scores live as they are posted. And we'll see how that goes for you because we've got a bit of distance between us and the judges, but we want to try to get these scores to you live today. So bear with us. I think we'll be able to pull that off. And so we're going to reverse the order from how they did yesterday. So let's just take a look at that. It'll actually be Rashid Al Mullah that would come out first, and then Yassini Fadli, another gentleman from the UAE that'll be performing today. He'll be second. Paulo Nunes would be next. Yaroslav Turner after that. Roberto Mariani, and then Sergei Chemezov. There's a really cool shot of all the incredible layout that our crew does for the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. And I know it's a bit hard to see because you're only getting part of it, but that is the far end that feels like it's about 3 miles away from the VIP area and also from the media area. We are on the second floor of the Hilton the entire media crew. We've actually took over the second floor balcony. There's a really cool area there for us every single year. And I don't know that you know this, but I have a huge shout out to the city of Sharjah for hosting the UIM-ABP F1 H2O tour. And for the past 20 consecutive years, they've been here every single year. And for the past 5 years, they have hosted the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. So it is just a complete honor to be putting on a performance here in a city that does it just perfect, as they said in the riders' meeting today. And you can see just a bit of the logistics of getting these boats in and out. We've got a lot of crews helping us with that, and that way we're able to assist the teams. Because as you know, just to get the boats shipped around the world, the way that works is this tour actually puts all of these boats on really big crates, and they ship the boats from stop to stop, and then we make sure that the teams get assist. And you can see that right now. It's not just the teams that are working to get these boats moved in and out. Christoph Agostino making sure that all of that's clicked in, and you can see Kabatov back there as well. We're able to move 2 of those boats in and out at once. And as we get the runabouts there, the waters calm down, get this placid, beautiful, serene look in the Khalid Lagoon. And just some of the Sharjah facts for you. The ruler of Sharjah is His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi. He's ruled since 1972. And Sharjah is ruled by the Al Qasimi dynasty since the 18th century. His Highness is also an established historian and has published several literacy and literary and theatrical works. He's also been very passionate about maintaining and preserving the historical traditions of their culture, and they've done a beautiful job. Sharjah is the only emirate that shares its border with all the other emirates in the United Arab Emirates. And speaking of history, theirs dates back over 6,000 years. And as we look out over the water, Rashid Al Mullah looking ready to rock and roll, and it's great to have him back out here. And he locks in and gets ready to punch the clock and go to work for us for 3 minutes in a much happier face than yesterday. Although he is such a great ambassador for freestyle and for the UAE as well. Even yesterday with the boat not going well, he had a smile for everyone. A true showman, for sure. Again, he's your current points leader. In 2018, he also won the world title, and that was the first time ever the UAE did that. So we're looking for this second historical move here for him to do it again. He has 11 aquabike podiums from 2018, from 2015 to 2018. 2015 is when he first joined us. He's 33, and he opens big. Barrel roll backflip. 360. That was actually a 540 on the open and a tail stand at the end. Well, good morning, Laura Shelton Smith from the UK. Great to have you. And Amanda Karasek has also joined. Tail grab for a back flip and a one-footer for another backflip for Rashid. And you can see he rides for Team Abu Dhabi. And Rashid's performance is always very aggressive and defined best. Nice 540, reverses, barrel roll, backflip. He's always defined by these big combinations. 180, 180, and 180, backflip, barrel roll, backflip. And I think the other thing in general that he's defined by is fast transitions. Lots of tricks, lots of combinations, fast transitions. That's a typical demonstration. You can see that he moves from one of these tricks to the next very seamlessly. Could really call that either a barrel roll or a 540. I am having a great time watching him in this, again, 3-minute routine. They've got the opportunity to get 100 points. And hopefully we'll be able to get you those scores live. No pressure, though, because I know the judges are pretty busy down there. Another little setup. You know, he's having some, he's still having a bit of problems with that boat, even from yesterday. I thought they would have the opportunity to get that fixed, but it's not looking like it's doing everything that he's really wanting it to do. And yeah, he's... little flat water work. Trying to get more points on the board. And as that final whistle comes out, Niels Vellum says, too bad you couldn't be here, sir, but he says good luck to all the freestylers. And Traley Harrison Cunningham loving this time zone. Thank you so much. Me too, girl. Shadow Wall, nice one. Yeah, Rashid Al Mullah, despite the fact that he was having some challenges with the engine, still put together a great routine. And up next is going to be a gentleman we have not seen before. This is a brand new rider for me. This gentleman is Yassine Fadli. He also is from the UAE. And I don't have a ton of background on him yet. But again, another rider from the United Arab Emirates. And while we're bringing him out here, let's talk to the gentleman that just nailed it in Moto number 1. How you doing, Jeremy Perez?
Hi, good.
Golly, how'd that feel?
I feel so happy. It was a good race. It was so difficult also. It's like a wash machine on the track.
I have to ask real quick, what's it like when you've got a 25-minute moto? You know you've got to maintain the machine.
Yeah, at the beginning I go maximum that I can do. And half race, I know approximately, you know, and I try to keep the distance, but I was checking the white flag for 3 or 4 laps before. It was a very long race, and the circuit is very short this time, so it's really hard. Really hard.
You did a fantastic job. While we're talking with you, Yassine Fadli had a great opening with a backflip, and he's going to do another quick setup here. Good barrel roll for him.
Yassine is French. He's born in France, but he's living in Abu Dhabi.
Oh my gosh! Thank you.
Yeah.
Should have had you up here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to tap into you then for the background. What else do you know about him?
I know that his Al-Mullah teach him to ride freestyle.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so he's been mentoring with Rashid Al-Mullah.
Yeah.
All right, nice backflip. Does a little bit of a nose stab there, but rides it out. I love the fact that he goes into these tail stands. So born and raised in France. So he must be working out here then.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know, so many. I think it's maybe 5 or 6 years that he stay in Abu Dhabi. But he have the same boat Rachid Al-Moula,
Okay.
the same, and they're training a lot together, but it's his first race, this one. First or second, something like that.
Well, he's doing a great job. Now, that was a risky move. Very
Oh.
impressive. He was actually looking to me like he was wanting to go for a flex flip there.
Yeah.
So it looked like he was trying to go to maybe take that arm off and flare back. He did manage the flare back, kept both of his arms on, but did have the one footer and a great but risky move. High degree of difficulty for that one. See if he gets some points. So they are looking for the variety, the number of tricks, how fast they go in the transitions. I saw our audio guy snuck in, and he was like, "Wait, you've got people on here." Yeah, Jeremy Perez came up to interview with me because he's awesome. Oh, now I'm hearing something going on with the boat. Yeah. All right, tail stand. I love how these guys, despite what's happening, they're just fantastic showmen. Got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he's really good.
I wonder if he's actually sponsored by Jet Pilot. I love the wetsuit. This guy's Jet Pilot very good about taking care of a lot of the riders that compete around the world. And a great product too, of course. Oh, double. Well done. Makes it a triple. And unfortunately, I think we've all been through that. We've lost the boat. Usually not for a backflip, since I've never ever done a backflip on purpose. I'm not going to promise it didn't happen, maybe not on purpose once or twice. Have you ever done a backflip off a boat? No? Jeremy. Not even on purpose?
Yeah.
Because you rent, right? Don't you rent skis for, are you guys still renting? Do you have your rental boat thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll hear about a race.
Yeah, okay.
Before I race ski also.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In ski light. I finished fourth on European Championship with Quinten, Bosch, Stian, was the same first and second, and was the third was Smurf. I don't know if you remember him.
I remember Smurf.
Yeah, was
Ronnie Mancherud.
Yeah, was the years ago, 2011.
Yeah, my gosh. Wow, that's awesome, Jeremy. I don't remember you doing ski. That's fantastic.
Only live.
I should have found that out earlier. Now I'm gonna give you a hard time. Should race ski as well. And speaking of racing ski, is Marta gonna ever be able to come back, or I know she's gonna have the baby?
Yeah, we are waiting, you know.
Are you nervous?
And yes. I'm coming here, you know. It's not easy, but.
All right, up next, Yaroslav Turner, and he wasted no time to get going on this. Big combinations for Yaroslav Turner. Sorry, I was quiet for a second because I was actually looking to see if I could get the scores, but unable to transfer those back down. Now, Yaroslav also very well known for fast transitions and big tricks. You can see the boat that he is working with, that revolver boat, pretty popular on this tour. Nice backflip, makes it a one-hander lander, increasing the level of difficulty. You're watching Yaroslav Turner from the Czech Republic. He had a great year this year with a 3-5 finish in Portimao, a 4-5 finish in Olbia, and a 3-3 finish in Qingdao. Another big setup, one-footer lander. Nice backflip for him. He's 40, I think he's 41 actually now. Rides for Team Extreme. And that's the engine that he's got in there. Oh, actually, excuse me. Yeah, it is Paolo. Yep. Thank you so much. That's actually Paolo Nunes on the water. Both of those boats were orange boats, and I was distracted chatting with Jeremy. Paolo Nunes is from Portugal, and he rides on Lee Stone's revolver boat. How could I ever mistake that? Because he's got the American helmet on. He's the only guy I know that rides with a, looks like a football helmet. That's an option, by the way. You don't have to ride with protective headgear, but you can, and it's the only, it's actually the only discipline that we have where you're allowed to make the choice on whether to wear a helmet or not. I think it's It's a smart move. Nice one-hander lander for Paulo Nunes. And this guy has come a long way. It's his first full tour with the UIM-ABP Aquabike Tour. And what's interesting about Paulo is that originally he was here on the tour, but he was working with Joanna Grassa. And he was actually really supporting her on the team, mechanic, and has competed locally. He really wanted to see if he could compete on the tour. So they talked about it, and Joanna was like, absolutely, come and play. So he now gets the opportunity to do something that he really loves. And what also is very fun about Paulo is he really comes in and works the crowd. And he has been a lot of fun to watch. You're watching Paulo Nunes from Portugal. He also has an Extreme engine in that boat. His sponsors are Liquimali and TAP or Air Portugal. His first competition was 2006. And also he waves on to the crowd. And I bet Joanna is down there as well. And oh my gosh, now he's even giving the photographers a hard time. What's great about these freestyles is just very cheeky group. All right, let's take a look down. So thus far we've had Yassini, Rashid Al-Moula, and Yassini, and Paulo Nunes, and Yaroslav Turner was actually going to be next. So I had premature acceleration, which should never happen from an announcer. I'm definitely getting a red flag, Jeremy.
Yeah, I was.
Just silly. Might have to start with a dead engine now. Would there be a dead microphone? So again, I'm here with Jeremy Press, the gentleman that won in Moto #1. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And try to...
You go rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this afternoon I need to do the same.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go get some rest and get ready to work a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, bud.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you later.
See you later.
All right, you guys, we're back. Yaroslav Turner getting ready to start his routine. And let's talk about the points for Yaroslav Turner. Now, he came into this in third place. He's got 110 points. In 2017, his best finish was a fourth place in Sharjah. So he's lucky in Sharjah. Let's see what he can do this weekend. As I mentioned earlier, he lives in the Czech Republic, and he rides for Team Extreme Engine. He debuted in 2003, and he opens big. Combination of 360s and backflips. Now, yesterday when the tide was high, he went very close to that wall. And they like to do that, get it as close as they can to the crowd. They love the interaction on it. Well, that is just a huge execution of a barrel roll. 180 kicks for Yaroslav Turner, and then he's going to lock back in. Now, if you're new to freestyle, the reason that they are kicking the bottom of the boat where those mats are is a lot of these guys have custom designed footholds, and the reason they have them is that right there is going for a 360. He's actually looking for a bit more rotation, almost a 540 there for that rotation. Backflip, rides it out. Three-minute routine is a big one. See Pete Cernick joined us on the live feed. The Black Shadows Power Team also joined us. Great to have you. Congratulations, good run today. Yaroslav is big in that upper body. Very powerful rider. And you can see that really works for him as he goes into a big ghost rider. So that is they consider that a throw. And the Ghost Rider is when they do that rotation with the boat around the body without them being on it, but they maintain control of the boat. There's the view that we get to look at up and down the promenade, and you can see all the traffic. That's one of the main thoroughfares in Sharjah. And the Hilton, where the one of our host hotels, and where the media center. Nice backflip for Yaroslav Turner. Sets it up, and then he walks his way through 4, 5, 6. And that was smart. He executed all the way through 6 backflips and then landed it. Just like gymnastics, they need to nail the landing, right? He did a great job with that. Part of the challenge in gathering all of these points is when to stop, right? You can keep going with the backflips, but if you ever lose control, then all of a sudden that can be a big point deficit for you. Looked like he was setting up for another aerial maneuver, and he realized that that buoy was pretty close to him. Made the adjustment. It was a smart call to back out of that, had some footwork. And he's waving to the crowd. It looks like the red flag is coming out for him. That's going to do it for Jaroslav Turner. That's a gentleman that's currently in 3rd on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. And the tagline is so appropriate for this really fun location. Smile, you're in Sharjah. And speaking of smiling, this guy never fails to bring a smile to our faces. He hails from Italy, one of the longest competitors on the tour. His nickname is the Wolf. We call him Roberto Mariani. He's currently in 2nd with 132 points on the books. In 2018, he got 3rd with a 4-point lead. Despite one DNS in Moto2 in Sharjah, his best finish last year was in Olbia. And in Sharjah, he had 2nd overalls. He also did very well this year at Zagreb on the UIM European Tour with a win, and opens up without messing around. It's got a big combination, and this guy is fun because he mixes a lot of old school with new school. He starts with the higher degree of difficulty combinations, and this opening is a doozy. You're watching a series of over 20 tricks here that he loves to combine, and he does it again very close to that wall. Rides it out, goes into the tail stand just to finish it. And a fantastic opening combination for Roberto Mariani. You can see why he's 2nd in the points. He, as well as Rashid Elmul, is very fast in transitions. Barrel roll, backflip. 360, 360, 180, backflip. Rides for Jet Revolution. It's got a Yamaha engine and a Jet Revolution carbon production bike. Backflip, 180, and another 180. And another backflip. Now, that little deviation, right, where he took the hand off the handle pole, that increases the difficulty for him. He does that as a lander on the backflip. And those small little details also can really help with your points. Backflip, backflip. Nice soft landing just on the back 2/3 of the boat. Really want to have that landing towards the ride plate on the back of the boat as soft as you possibly can. If you land completely flat, you can imagine it's pretty jarring on those guys. And good news, bad news, they're super fun on the water, but the bad news, no suspension. So when you land flat like that, speaking of flat, that is one of his signature moves. He does this thing called the Superman. And while it's super awesome for us to watch, it is actually a high degree of difficulty for those guys and looks like a big belly flop, but really fun maneuver and a great trick to watch. The Superman for Roberto Mariani, and he's the only one that performs that on the tour. And there's some of the old school stuff I was relating to you. Little skim where they go underwater and they do a sub. There's another backflip with a one-hander lander. Pete Cernick in the house. Good to have you join us, sir. Another setup. We didn't like that. Now they have the option. If they don't like their setup wake, they can just ride right through it. He reverses and goes into a fountain, another signature move for him. And that is definitely an old school trick. Fountain is one of the first tricks that you saw when they were riding the 550s on these tours around the globe. And they would use those fountains to actually rinse off the crowd. Really don't do that as much anymore, but that used to be a lot of fun on the beaches around the countries. All right, he comes in, waves to the crowd. Be sure and let him know how much you love him. Roberto Mariani, a.k.a. the Wolf from Italy. I told you, he's a crowd favorite. Just brings so much personality and charisma to the water. Well, I've got good news and bad news for you. The good news is we get to watch a gentleman from Russia up next, and the gentleman that qualified at the top of the qualifying points yesterday. The bad news is this is going to be our final competitor for freestyle. And then we're going to take a short break, but we don't want you to go anywhere. We are going to post the times for this afternoon because, yep, you got it. We got Moto Number 2 coming at you shortly. We've also got 3 more minutes of fast flying coming at you, and that is Sergey Chemezov, the gentleman that qualified with the most points yesterday. So he gets the honor of going last. In 2017, he only attended one of the events, and that was in Dubai. Ended up in 3rd in that event, and then this year he's been on the whole tour. He's currently in 4th with 107 points. Which, by the way, is 3 points separate from Yaroslav Turner, and he has a huge opener. 5 tricks, and they were big ones. Tail stands out. And when you tail stand and rotate more than once, that's actually a corkscrew, and that was actually made famous by a gentleman named Hollywood Watkins. It was the Hollywood corkscrew, and that was Scott Watkins, who now works for Yamaha. Back flip on the final part of that. Waves to the crowd. You're watching Sergey Chemezov. We have 2 Russian competitors here at our final round here. Hey, Jace Donnie from New Zealand joined us on the live feed. Hello, and Eminelli. And Jeff Lakeford. Yeah, the water does flatten out, and again, we're just working our way through into high tide. We had started with low tide this morning. We're about 2.5 feet. Big combination for Sergey Chemezov, and he lands that final part of the combination. Great work for him. That is a big one as far as the points. He's got a good run running on this 3-minute routine. .540, tail standed. Wasn't able to hold on to that tail stand. Doesn't let go of the boat, though. Another nice setup, 540 into a backflip. 360 backflip. 360 backflip. Another good combination. Barrel roll, 1-footer as well. Back foot, 1-footer. Wow, I was impressed with that. You know, he didn't launch out with as much horsepower as he really needed for that backflip. He manhandled that thing all the way over. That was well done. A nice throw, 360 throw, and then he hops on and he also does a fountain. And you can hear the prayers in the background. In a city that has worked very hard to preserve their culture. And the hand goes up as we complete the routine for our final freestyler right here in the third largest emirate. And how appropriate that this land has the Arabian Gulf on one side and the Gulf of Oman on the other, and we are completing our morning session right here in the Khalid Lagoon. Congratulations again to all of the competitors, and thank you so much for joining us. I do believe that's going to be a wrap as we get ready to go for this afternoon's motos. I want to thank you once again for being here. You've been watching the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship finale right here. It's the Grand Prix of Sharjah. I'll see you right back here in just a few hours as we get ready for our afternoon session. For us, that's going to be at 1500 hours. Let's give you a little bit of a teaser on what's going to be happening next year before we sign off. All right, you guys, welcome back. We'll see you in just a couple of hours. We're firing up this afternoon at 1500, and we'll be back then live for Moto number 2. I'm Don Dawson on behalf of the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. This is the Grand Prix of Sharjah. We'll see you in a few.